In today's episode, we are going to talk about my favorite gardening method of the year, what happens when your garlic sprouts too early, and my favorite crop that I grew this year. Let's go. My favorite gardening method this year has absolutely been the method where we applied cardboard to get our carrot seeds to germinate. If you have not seen that video, it is absolutely a game changer. In fact, this is going into my book as game-changing gardening methods, not my actual book, but my, what I'm talking about. I just want you guys to know how much of a difference that this has made. Now, when we started using this method, we started with boards of wood, and that was okay. But I found that boards of wood still allowed some air to get underneath, still allowed the soil to kind of dry out. It was a little bit heavy, and I found that it had a tendency to kind of smother some seeds here and there. And when I switched over to cardboard, it allowed me to cover more area, and it allowed me to have a little bit more of an absorbent material that kept the seeds just as dark and cool, but also helped keep that moisture near the seeds. And I gotta say, honestly, the cardboard method, I am sold on. This was a fall planting of carrots, and if you look here, these are absolutely picture perfect. We just harvested our summer harvest of carrots. Now, people say that summer carrots are impossible because of how hot and dry it's been. Well, I'm here to tell you that this was the hottest, driest summer we've had in a very, very, very long time, 9 weeks of no rain. I'm just Bugs Bunnying over these carrots right now. I love them. They're amazing, absolutely phenomenal. That was our summer harvest. This is our fall harvest, and the germination rate has just been incredible. So to reiterate what we did, we planted the seeds in basically bare soil. We grew them in pure compost that was amended with some sand, so it was a little bit looser, more well-draining. Carrots love that. And then we applied an all-purpose fertilizer that we raked into the soil. At that point, we drew our rows. We spaced our rows about 4 inches apart. We put down our seed, about every ½ inch we put a seed. We did not thin from that point, we just let them grow. And we basically, when we put the seeds in, the seeds were basically on the surface of the soil, only about 1/4 inch to 1/8 of an inch deep, if that. And then, since carrot seeds like darkness to germinate, but they're so close to the surface of the soil, and they also like the soil to be damper and cooler to germinate well, we covered it. We watered it really, really well. We covered it with cardboard, and then we basically watered down the cardboard so it was nice and damp as well, and we weighted it down with 4 rocks to keep it from blowing, and we checked it after about 7 to 8 days to check for sprouts. On the 7th day, there was no sprouts, so we covered it back up and we checked it every single day after that until we saw the first few sprouts forming, and then we removed it completely. And that way we didn't smother out the plants and cause them to be leggy. And that method by far has been my favorite gardening method so far this year. Next, what happens when your garlic sprouts too early? This garlic bed here was planted about 2 weeks ago, and we thought we were gonna get nice cool weather. However, it got warm, and it stayed warm. The nights also got warm as well, not nearly as cold as it normally is, and that caused our garlic to sprout. Now, our garlic is right now about 2.5 to 3 inches tall. It's not in the height of concern. About 4 to 5 inches is the height of concern. You don't want your garlic to be much taller than that. Otherwise, you run the risk of it being killed back. That exhausts the energy in the bulb, and you either end up with very small garlic next year or sometimes no garlic. So it's not yet in that realm of concern for us, but it's getting pretty close. Here's the thing though, there's nothing that we can do. I know that that might really stink to hear, but there's nothing that we can do. Once our garlic is sprouting, it is already growing. You can't pull it up, you can't throw it in the refrigerator, you can't scream at it and say, stop, it doesn't work. The garlic is in the ground. And that is why I always, always, always say, it is far better to plant garlic too late than it is to plant it too early. You can plant garlic in early November, as long as the soil is workable and as long as you can plant the garlic. It doesn't have to necessarily be before the first frost. I always typically advocate about 20 days before your first frost, but that's only because not a whole lot typically happens in that time frame. The weather typically gets cold, you typically get, it typically gets a little bit established. You want some roots to kind of start forming a little bit, and that can happen at very cold temperatures. Garlic is so cold tolerant that if we were to wait till November 1st, we're probably going to, because these are already sprouting so much, we're probably going to plant another garlic bed just to be safe, because I don't know what's going to happen with these. Like I said, they're about 2.5, 3 inches tall. I don't want them to get much taller, but unfortunately the 10-day forecast is still looking fairly warm. And we're in mid-October right now, which is unseasonable for sure. Definitely not something that I had expected. But if I would have waited and waited until, a week from now to plant, typically that would be perceived by most people as quote unquote too late. But I, again, would go off of, and most people that grow garlic commercially, that have grown garlic for a long time, will tell you growing garlic, putting it in the ground too late is far better than too early. And so there's not a whole lot you can do. What you can do is you can just kind of keep it stress-free. You can keep it well watered. And the big thing that you could try to do to help it throughout winter, because the big thing, once it's sprouting, there's nothing you can do, but you can kind of aid your results next year by mulching heavily. You see, once the garlic is already up and sprouting, it allows you to come through here with some straw, or in our case, we like to use pine shavings. We'll throw pine shavings around here, and that will help to insulate the soil, which is the big reason why garlic won't come back, is the bulbs freeze, they get too cold after they've already grown, and then they don't sprout next year. So not a whole lot you can do, but it does serve as a good lesson. Plant later rather than earlier. And lastly, one of my favorite crops that we grew this year. Now, I was going to actually, ironically, say tomatillos, which I happen to be right by. Tomatillos this year, I think, were my favorite crop on a sheer production scale, because I only had 2 plants, but I've gotten about 15 pounds of tomatillos from just 2 plants. They were so much fun to grow, but were they my favorite crop to grow? I don't know. We used a lot of them, and we still are using a lot of them, and I have to harvest some more. But I have had years where there was lots of tomatillos. But there was one crop this year that we got to enjoy longer than ever before, and that was our leafy greens. I've got to say that my favorite crop this year by far was my leafy greens. And that goes for any leafy green. It was such an amazing year for them this year. Now, we've had other years where leafy greens were great as well, so I'm not taking anything away from the tomatillos. We also had a phenomenal year, one of our better years ever for tomatoes and peppers. It was great all across the board. But what stood out this year for us was just the absolute perfection when it came to growing leafy greens. So we had 3 harvests of leafy greens, which we rarely get. And that's because we had a cold spring, and then we had a very cold start to our main growing season, which allowed us to grow a second succession of lettuce. And then we started these about 4 or 5 weeks ago as the weather started to cool, and we are getting another beautiful harvest of fall lettuce as well. It has been just remarkable. This variety has been one of my favorites this year. This is a new one for me. I've grown it in the past, but I really grew it a lot this year. This variety is called Crisp Mint. It doesn't taste like mint at all. I don't even know where that name comes from, but it is phenomenal. It is disease resistant. It is drought tolerant. It is just absolutely stunning. It is absolutely stunning. I mean, it's one of my favorite lettuces right now to grow. We also have a ruby red leaf lettuce. We also have here a super red romaine. I love this variety. We have our go-to fan favorite that we never don't have it in our garden. I don't know if that makes sense or not. We always grow it. We always grow it in our garden. And that is tango. Tango is such a ruffly, crinkly leaf. It almost reminds me of like an endive. It just is, it's amazing. So nice. We have here, this is some tatsoi mustard. And this tatsoi usually gets really big and hefty. It's just beautiful. And then we have some baby pak choi right here, which is just starting to go to seed, some of these ones here, because it's still fairly warm. Like I said, with the garlic, it's usually kind of cool. Usually we have a few frosts by now. Usually by now it's getting really cold, but it's 70, I think it's like 73 today. This is like a gift of nice weather, but it does have some downsides. The brassicas don't quite like it all that much. But I'll tell you what, This year has been so much fun to grow lettuce. I'd say we grew more lettuce and enjoyed our lettuce longer than ever before. It's just been a really fun crop to grow for me this year. And there's been a lot of highlights, but lettuce has been one that it's been really surprising. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all learned something new. And I also do really hope that you enjoyed this new format. This format is kind of a way for us to adapt some of the more short format content preferences with a longer format video. And we will be taking a lot of these splices and putting them up in short format as well, because it allows us to kind of cater to people that like a longer format video. They like to learn more than just, 1 or 2 minute clip. But it also allows us to splice these videos and make it more digestible for those that have a shorter attention span or a shorter video that they want to watch. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do appreciate your support. And as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow bigger. Take care. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, consider clicking this one. You'll probably enjoy it just as much. I want to thank you for your viewership, because without it, this channel would not be as amazing as it is. Also, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free, and we upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We also have vegetable seeds, fertilizer, or tools. If you need any of those, consider visiting MIgardener.com. Links will be in the description box below. We've got you covered. And as always, we'll see you all in the garden. Take care. Bye.